What's up, guys? Alex here. Just kind of actually post load right now. Just delivered my dole load, his drop and hook. Just got the trailer washed out. Just double checking the cleanliness. The refrigerator chute right there, if I could point it properly. That brings the air down and around and through the rails and back in. It's a closed system on these trailers, so once the doors are locked up tight, it's its own clean, pretty much dirt-free environment. That way the food stays safe and clean until we make delivery. Actually going to go pick up a load of chicken right now over in Lumber Bridge, North Carolina. That's a drop and hook for us. And this is headed to San Diego to our restaurant depot. Got a couple stops there before home time. I just wanted to bring up a video to explain some things. I did a produce load recently, which is the one I dropped today, picked up in Dole in Yuma, Arizona, which is really cool. Haven't been down there yet. My first time there, but what a lot of guys, a lot of drivers, I mean, if you watch this, will agree, produce, man, it's give or take. Sometimes we're there for 18, 20 hours just waiting until we bump up to a dock. And I know a lot of drivers get frustrated about that, and it's understandable. You know, you just want to get your trailer loaded and get going. And of course, there's a train coming through. Why not? Anyway, I know everybody wants to get in and get loads, but we were there at the Dole facility. I checked in about 10 p.m. The appointment wasn't until 11, so we showed up an hour early. We didn't get loaded out till 4:30 in the morning. That's actually pretty quick for produce. Most of the time when I go pick up in like Santa Maria, Oxnard for strawberries, especially up in Salinas, up at like Taylor Farms or the other guys, we're waiting there for a while. And at first I used to get frustrated when I first was out here because I just wanted to pick up the load and go. Pick up and go, pick up and go. Then I learned, as I talked to people and did some research, why we wait so long. And from people out there that just pick up your groceries and like veggies at the store, they're there ready for you guys. But what we got to do is wait there pretty much till they're literally picked fresh in the field and put in the boxes on these trucks, and they're straight to the warehouse. So what they're doing is, you know, we're usually on the dock watching them load the trucks. We don't really get to see what goes on behind the scenes, but there's one warehouse I went to where you kind of see what goes on with the produce before it gets on the truck. And it's a time-consuming process because everything has to be done by hand. They try to automate as much as they can, but there's a lot of things that they just have to have the human touch, just because that's just how it goes. Either the fruits and veggies, it's mostly because they're too delicate for machines to handle. It'll bruise them, it'll tear them apart too much. And the produce, as soon as it's picked out in the field, let's say it's like, you know, 60 degrees out, 50 degrees out when they're starting about 3 a.m., they bring it to the warehouse. It goes into a super cooler. And what that does is bring the temp of the fruits and veggies down to about, let's say, anywhere between 32 and 38 degrees. Really depends on what we're hauling. Most of the stuff's set at 34, 35 degrees, which when you get produce home, that's why you have a crisper in the fridge. It's really meant to mimic like our trailers and the actual produce storage facilities that keep the veggies and fruits at very low oxygen levels and almost close to freezing temps. Not cold enough to damage them. But we do have to wait for them to cool and get ready, staged in boxes, wrapped on pallets, and put aside for our orders. And that goes for every single truck is packed like that. And then there's some places where we're waiting and there's maybe 30 or 40 trucks in the queue waiting to go get loaded, and you're there. Like, longest I've been is 21 hours in Salinas waiting for produce. And that was a load actually going to the Boston, not Boston, what kind of word is that? Boston produce market over there on the East Coast from Salinas. Quite a bit of a drive, but this specific customer wanted everything in the truck, fully loaded, ready to go, as much as we can get into the back of that trailer. So that takes a little while for them to prep at the warehouses and get it set up. And for that situation, they have to pinwheel the pallets which they rotate every other pallet sideways. So when you're actually looking above it, it looks like a pinwheel in the trailer. You actually can fit 30 pallets like that in a truck. Regular straight in the trailer is about 24 to 26 depending on the size pallet. Yeah, they try to shove as much as you can in the trailer. That's how you usually make the most money on produce loads, is the more you can put in, the higher the line haul. But the reason we wait is for all that prep. It's all that custom prep for the produce. And these facilities aren't doing just one specific type of vegetable or fruit. They're doing multiple at once. So they got multiple production lines going, forklifts running everywhere. These guys are good. Once you bump into the dock, usually you're loaded within 30 or 40 minutes. Those veggies, they can't be, or fruits, they can't be out of the refrigerator systems too long. They got to get them out and into the trailer, and our door's shut and running into a sealed system until we get it to the customer. Most of the produce is extremely fresh. Like when I go pick up strawberries in Oxnard, that's fresh from the field and onto the truck right away, like ASAP, because it's such a sensitive fruit. Some other things like apples, when we pick up from Washington up there, those are actually stored for months in these very low oxygen level, airtight sealed, massive warehouses, sectioned off each section depending on the pick date. Usually during harvest season, most of the year, we'll pick up fresh apples, but during the winter time they're stored for months. And so the actual apples that we're picking up, they're still fresh. It's the way they store them, amazingly, that keeps them like tree picked fresh. They put them on the truck, we get them right to the store. And that's how we have apples year round pretty much. They store them once they're all picked, and they put them in a very cold, low oxygen environment, usually pump CO2 into the building to keep them even fresher. And that wax coating too. Always make sure to wash your fruit and veggies once you get them too. But back to waiting. Sometimes you're in the dock for hours on end because they'll put what they have on the truck. Sometimes that's only 4 pallets out of 30 you're getting on. Or if you're doing multi-picks, I went to a place to go pick up grapes, and that was only like 4 or 5 pallets. Then the rest was going to go pick up halos, those little really good oranges, tangelos, or whatever you want to call them. It's literally halos picked up in not Bakersfield. It's a little north of there, at the big facility off the 99. Those are constantly being picked and ready to go in Cali because the temperature is so good they grow year round. So they're able to just load up the whole truck ready to go. That was quick. That was one of the quickest check-ins and loads I've done for that type of fruit. But there's some other places where you're sitting in the dock. They run out of vegetables, and you're there for 6-7 hours in that dock. Your reefer's running, burning fuel, and you're just waiting for stuff to get in. You're literally waiting for it to get from the field. They're just waiting on the truck to come in. They got to get it on the cooler, get it packed, cleaned up in the super cooler, and that takes a little bit for it to bring the veggies down to a really low temperature. Because the quicker they do that, the fresher everything stays. So it's really a race to get them in there, and then once they're ready, palletized, they throw them on the truck and you're ready to go. They're fun loads for owner ops. They're really good paying. It's just the wait time is horrendous, but there's a reason to it. They don't want to keep us there for 20 hours or 8 hours in the dock. They really don't. They're really trying to get us in and out of there as fast as I can, and it honestly is all dependent on the produce. It literally is picked fresh from the field and right into our trucks. But there's a process between field to truck that needs to be done to ensure food safety, freshness, quality, all that usual stuff that goes along with giving you an excellent product that you just pick right up off the shelf at the store. Other products are all the same. I could get into it more. I just thought it was a little interesting when I went to go pick up the Dole produce over in Yuma, Arizona, because that is Yuma actually grows a bunch of produce down there. We just happen to have celery, cauliflower, spring onions, and I can't remember the rest, but they're pretty much leafy greens. And yeah, we picked it grown right there in Yuma, picked by Dole, brought to the warehouse and loaded up in the truck. that was really cool. But yeah, most drivers, I mean, that's when you see what is it? Yeah, you know, sometimes it's hard doing stuff without putting notes. Oh yeah, one thing too, California grows about 75 to 80% of the US's produce. The rest of the year it is imported in from Mexico or like warmer states, like example Yuma where I went. But yeah, California is a massive produce facility. I mean, we grow almonds, walnuts, oranges. I mean, we do strawberries, Oxnard. Oxnard is notorious for strawberries. You can just see strawberry fields as far as you can see. Central Valley, a lot of produce there, and also San Joaquin Valley, all that good stuff. It's fun. I personally enjoy picking up produce. It's just a fun trip because I know it's going to take me from the West Coast to the East Coast, and very rarely just barely halfway across, like every once in a while. And everybody gets the same produce from the same fields and the same companies. It doesn't matter if you pick it up from Costco, you pick it up from Walmart, Target even, and your even personal little stores like Save-A-Lot, Kroger, Food for Less, that kind of thing, Albertsons. You check the produce labels, it's all going to tell you exactly where it's grown. And I'm telling you, 95% of the time when you look, it's going to say somewhere in California. Monterey County, Salinas, you know, Central Valley, anything like that. It's pretty cool checking it out. But anyway, I'll figure some other videos out. I still only be posting once a week because I'm running a training truck, so I usually just focus on my students. Right now I'm just kind of chilling. Like I said, I'm just checking the trailer out, making sure everything's good to go, because this chicken load, they're a little strict on how clean the trailer is and how it's in the condition it's supposed to be before you drop it off, so that way everything's all set and good for the food product that's going on board. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you clicked, like, share it. I really do appreciate it. And also follow me on my Instagram, Redondo_beach_trucker. I do daily stories usually, and I do have just normal posts like a normal human being, showing anything that's not really trucker stuff or different foods I have on the road. Anyway, thank you guys for joining in.